Hello and welcome to the show. This is Everything Under the Sun. My name is Ty. Hope all you've been doing incredible and treating yourselves well. I wanted to just speak about something I was listening to earlier. It was an audio of Wayne Dyer, incredible spiritual leader, influencer, impactor, whatever you want to put on that title, but very wise individual who has a lot to share. And if you listen to him, then you recognize that as well. But something that he said that I think is so important to this motion towards our happiness, our joy, our peace, this life that we want to live, it's these words. And you bring these words up when you are in a situation that you feel as though it's not really feeling good for you. It's not something that feels good for you to be in. Maybe it's a person or a situation or something that's arising in your present moment experience that does not feel good. You remind yourself of these words. You say, I want to feel good. And this is a truth that many of us have. Of course, we want to feel good. But when we're ruminating in our minds about some situation that's happening right now in front of us, maybe we're in traffic and we're running late for work and we're getting stressed out, or maybe we're at work and we're in this just really chaotic situation that we just don't enjoy, or maybe we're thinking about a past event that happened that we just can't get over. Remind yourself, I want to feel good. And this is something that I do, not in those exact words, but it's along these same lines. I catch myself. And oftentimes we're so wrapped up in the emotion, wrapped up in the thought that we don't really catch ourselves feeling that we've gone so far down that path that doesn't feel good. But the moment that you catch yourself, remind yourself, I want to feel good. I want to feel good. And whatever it is I'm focusing on, however I'm judging this situation, this person, this situation, that the past event, whatever it is, if I'm focusing on it in a way that does not make me feel good, then I'm not living the objective that I want to live because I want to feel good. And when we tell ourselves that, we are now priming ourselves for the next few situations, for the next thoughts that are going to cascade out of us, the next words that come out of us. Maybe we're in an argument and we realize this argument doesn't feel good. It's not something that I want to be a part of. You can remind yourself within your own mind, I want to feel good. And you can change direction in an instant. And when you prime yourself, instead of just trying to change, saying, I need to calm down, I need to, think about something else, I need to think about the opposite of this situation so I can bring myself back into alignment. A lot of times when we try to do that, the force of what we were thinking about, what we were feeling is so fast paced that we can't really stay on a positive topic in regards to it because we find ourselves thinking back about the negative of it. Maybe you're in traffic and someone cuts you off, almost hits you, and you're so furiated. You're like, like that person was obviously in the wrong. And you're telling yourself all these different things. You're bringing up these situations that aren't even happening anymore. Like, what if that person hit me? Then, oh man, like they'd be in for it. You're telling yourself stories, and all this does not feel good. And the moment that you recognize it, you're like, you know what? I need to calm down. I need to, just tell myself something different. A lot of times the thought, but that guy cut me off. If someone else cuts me off, I'm going to be ticked off. Like there are these thoughts that seem to kind of keep going with the momentum of the flow of the thing that does not feel good. But when we prime ourselves, when we set a precedence for the expectation of how we want to move forward from that moment on by saying, I want to feel good, you are now setting the precedence for every other thought that cascades afterwards because you're telling yourself the truth of what you want to feel. And we all want to feel good. We all want to feel good in this life. But many times we don't know how to put ourselves or bring ourselves in that direction or remind ourselves even in the moment of how to shift direction into something that feels a little bit better. But when we remind ourselves that I want to feel good, you just repeat those words in your head. And maybe you can't even think of a new thought, but you can say, I want to feel good. I want to feel good. Then you are going to start to bring in new thoughts that are in association with that. You may start to breathe, take deep breaths. You may start to look at the sunshine. You may start to just notice different things that are in alignment with feeling good. And then you can change that thought to, I intend to feel good. Because as you practice this motion towards veering to the direction that feels better for you, then you can set the intention. I intend to feel good. That is what I intend for myself in my life. It's no longer just a want. It's no longer just a desire. It's something that I'm intending because I've done it before. I've been in situations before where it was so tumultuous or something that seemed so bothersome. And I was able to bring myself to a better feeling place, even if it was just for a minute. And that tells me that I'm able to bring myself to a place that is in more of alignment that I want to be in. It's more of the direction, more of the vibration that I want to feel in my life. I want to feel good, and I intend to feel good. We have to bring this confidence in this life. We have to bring the confidence of what we expect to feel for ourselves, what we expect to feel, not what we expect to do, not what we expect to achieve or anything else. All those other expectations, they're things that come after the feeling. And many of us feel like it's the things in themselves that we're striving for, but no, it's the happiness, it's the joy, it's the peace in our lives. And as we gain that in our lives, the other things will start to come into our experience, all the things that we want. But it's not until we tell ourselves, recognize that we have the power to direct and navigate this life the way that we want to. And it's not about navigating the world around us. It's navigating how you feel within yourself. The conviction that you have within yourself to feel good because you want to feel good. You're telling yourself, I want to feel good. So you know that it's true. Allow yourself to move in that direction more. Allow yourself to empower yourself to believe that you can navigate this world with the intention of feeling good. Despite whatever comes up, despite whoever cuts you off, despite getting fired from a job or having some bills that are coming up that seem like they should stress you out. I want to feel good. The stress does not feel good. And ask yourself, does being more stressed in this situation actually do anything? And you may think, yes, stress sometimes makes me more productive. No, it doesn't. You'd be productive either way. You can be productive either way. Just allow yourself to feel good and know that things are going to work out. That right now that you have air to breathe, you have wellness enough to listen to this podcast. There are so many things that are blessings in our lives that we can focus on that bring us to a better feeling place than the situation that we're focusing on. So if the focus of whatever it is so strong in a direction that does not feel good, like in the other episode of looking the other way, maybe it takes you looking the other way because you say, I want to feel good. And right now, I can't think clearly of good thoughts about this situation. So I'm going to look the other way. I'm going to look at the sunshine. I'm going to look at the birds. I'm going to listen to something that feels good for me. And then when I reapproach that, we don't realize that in the moments that we allow ourselves to feel good in spite of a situation that's right in front of us, it adds to a structure, a foundation of wellness. So that situation may not pass, so it may come up again in your life, but next time you are stronger. And you may not necessarily feel stronger, but every time you navigate to look at something that feels better for yourself, you're giving yourself more and more strength. So when that situation comes up again, now maybe the momentum is not that strong, and now you can think thoughts that are in opposition to that. You can create a foundation of beliefs that are different than the ones that were already formed that don't feel good. Each and every moment, move towards your wellness, move towards the realization, the fact that you want to feel good. Move towards that in whatever way you know how to, and you are creating a strong foundation for making that your life, making that your sole intention in this life, because you realize, and you will soon very much realize, that moving towards things that feel good in your life will bring you everything that you want. Most importantly, it'll bring you the good feeling that you want to feel. If we can go through this life without a dime, without any financial wellness, without any security of like where we're going to go, where we're going to live, but we have this innate sense of happiness within ourselves, this pure happiness within ourselves, things will be thrown at you, and it will be your choice as to whether or not you want to take it. Money will be thrown at you, and if you want to continue to not have money, then that can be your choice. But in your happiness, all things that you desire will be brought to you. They will be handed to you, delivered to you, just like you are delivering your wellness to yourself. It is the universe responding to the fact that you are saying, I intend to feel good. I want to feel good, and that's what I'm going to move towards. And the universe will do the exact same thing. It is a mirror. It is a reflection. This world is a reflection. When you start to treat yourself well, the universe will treat you well. All things will conspire for you, to your success, to your happiness, to your joy, to your abundance. And I was listening to something else, and it was saying about abundance not necessarily being having all the money in the world, but being able to live the life that you want to live, choose to do the things that you want to do, and have no restriction in that. And there are many of us who live a life that is well enough to say, you know what, if I wanted to go out to eat at a nice restaurant, I could do that. Now, of course, those thoughts about, oh man, that's spending too much money, those can come in. But recognize how abundant that you are already, to where those thoughts don't have to be there. You don't have to be fearful of the life that you want to live. Live as full and well of a life that you can right now in whatever situation and circumstance that surrounds you. And I promise you, the universe will respond to the fact that you are focusing on your wellness and bring more and more wellness to you. So when you're in that situation where you're ruminating on negative thoughts, or you're in a situation that does not feel good, remind yourself, I want to feel good. And then proceed from there. Always reminding yourself of the truth that I want to feel good. And you will find yourself living a very, very good life. So that's all I really had for this episode. If you have any thoughts or ideas or anything like to share, you can send that to everything.sunpodcast@gmail.com. You can join any of the social media groups: Instagram, everything.sunpodcast, Twitter, @everysunpodcast, the Facebook group, @everysunpodcast, and the YouTube page, @everysunpodcast. I still haven't really updated too much on social media, but I promise you that will be happening at some point. So keep a lookout and keep staying well. I love you so much, and I'll talk to you soon.